It was a regular event for us. We typically went to happy hours and networking events throughout DC. That's part of our jobs as staffers in the embassy, is really to do outreach and to meet new people. And we all drove there in my car together. And the plan was to leave together and I would drive everyone home.
You and Sarah, Yaron, and Catherine?
Yes, the four of us. We were a group of four. And we exited as a group of four. We waited for everyone. We walked down those front steps. And I remember turning to Catherine, who was to my left, and I said to her, "Where's my car again?" Because we had entered through a different door. And she said, "Oh, over there." And we started to walk in that direction, and pa, pa, pa. And I grew up in the DC area, so I know that drive-by shootings are relatively normal, but not in the general vicinity that we were standing in. So I said, "Shooting, not sure." I see Catherine start to run, so I run behind her, and she runs under a car, and I get in right under her. Before I get under the car, I turned around to look. In the Torah, you know the story of Lot and his wife, and God says, "Don't turn around, you'll turn into a pillar of salt." I turned around. I should have turned into a pillar of salt. And I saw Yaron dying.
Oh.
And I basically slammed into Catherine under the car. It was like a big SUV. And that night was pouring rain. I can feel the rain almost. And I screamed at her, "Yaron's been shot, Yaron's been shot."
Oh.
And I'm screaming, and she reminded me that apparently I told her I felt like I was having a heart attack while also trying to make my phone work. Because it was raining and our screens were wet. So I finally got the phone to work and I called 911 and I started screaming down the phone at them. There were embassy staffers outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, and we have been shot.
Did you think you were targeted at that time, or did you not even have time to process it?
In that very minute, my intuition did, but if a police officer asked me, I would have said no. But on my inside, I understood because I said to the police, "We are Embassy of Israel staffers.
Right.
That man who was murdered is an Israeli." And I kept saying that over and over again because I wanted them to understand that it wasn't just a regular shooting.
Were you close to Yaron and Sarah?
Yeah. That morning, Sarah actually said to me, "You are mine and Yaron's third wheel," but really, Yaron is our third wheel.
And of course, they were a couple.
They were. So I started working in the embassy just before the war in September, and I met Yaron because of the war. Anyone who spoke English came downstairs to the public diplomacy level and worked on the digital team. So Yaron and I were working around the clock together, working on the digital team. And then about a month later, Sarah joined the team. And we were actually at the March on Washington for Israel. That was downtown. We went as an embassy, and Sarah and I were standing next to each other. And Sarah turns around to me and she says, "Who's that cutie?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Yaron. He's really sweet and he speaks really good English." And she was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Go over there. Go talk to him." And she was like, "All right." And she went over there and they met, and that was it. From that
You made the
moment,
shidduch.
I don't know if I made the shidduch, but I pushed the shidduch. And from that moment, they were pretty inseparable. They were always hanging out, always doing something together. I remember even covering for Sarah and Yaron when they went for a lunch date. And Sarah said, "If our boss is looking for me, I went to lunch. I'll be back in a little bit." They were the cutest couple. I mean, I got to spend so much time with them. We went to a Purim party together, and I have such fun memories and videos of them dancing and having fun.
What motivated you to come on the March of the Living?
So I've been to Poland before, and I've been to Auschwitz before, and I was physically sick for other reasons, but also mentally sick because this is a sick place. How can this happen? How could this have happened to our people and people let it happen?
If you get the answer, let me know, because I cannot understand it. Not until now.
I don't understand it either. And when the terrorist attack happened in Washington, I had that same thought. How are we letting this happen in 2025 in Washington, D.C.? The freedom capital of the world, you know? Would anything like this ever happen? And people not only let it happen, but forgot.
And what we ultimately know now is it was a targeted anti-Semitic attack. So you're absolutely right.
Right.
And so what brought you here?
To be here is really to remember that never again is now. And to be here with people who feel that sentiment and understand that in a way that most people that I see on the street don't is empowering. But also, I really wanted to come so people hear what happens, because it's not a story of the past. You know, we are walking around Auschwitz and you're looking at things that are anywhere from 100 to 80 years old.
We have some 90 to 100-year-olds participating amongst
Right.
the 7,000 people you're marching with.
And they're looking around thinking it's old news. I'm learning it because it's history. This isn't history. It's what I lived. It's what the people at Boulder, Colorado lived. It's what
I'm from Boulder.
So it's what your community lived through. It's what Manchester lived through. It's what Bondi lived through. This keeps happening to our people, and I'm quite sick of it, actually. So it was really, really important for me to be here to sort of double down on that. Never again is now, and we have to cut it out. Like, we have to really let the world know that we're not afraid of who we are, and we're proud to be who we are. We're proud to be Jews. We're proud to be Zionists, and you can't keep killing us.
Abbie, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, Erin. It really is a pleasure and an honor to be here.